which is at the modern moment of the baptism of Jordan. What she's saying here is this. She's saying that they had a physical person that walked the earth to make the scriptures historical, telling people that he was the Messiah, and that was none other than Adalabra came down here and came in and materialized a physical body and walked the earth as a physical man, saying he was the Jesus. And meanwhile, the Romans historicalized all the stuff, and they threw off all of the stuff of a Jesus now. Because any fool knows that you read any ancient scripts, what is the doggone purpose for a doggone Christ to come that's supposed to redeem the people since the beginning of Atlantis, that was supposed to come to earth and then get killed? That don't make no damn sense. And lead the people down here to suffer for another 2,000 years. You see what I'm saying? So obviously, that person couldn't have walked the earth that was saying that he was the Christ or whatever kind of thing. It was Adalabra. You see. Now, they said that, but Adalabra was the false Messiah and the destroyer of all ancient religions or all ancient mystery schools. So what you got here is, they came in and they wrote a book for this particular person out of the same scriptures. That's why you can go and get the same scriptures. The Greeks talked about a God, Jesus, that was supposed to come in the ancient times, which is in all of us. The Egyptians talked to God, Heru, which is a modified word, which is an earlier word of Jesus. And all around the world, it was talking about one that was supposed to come then. But what this Adalabra did, he came in and made a physical person to come in and get these people all stirred up in the Holy Land, and then after he so-called died, because he had to die, then they came in because they had to make a martyr, just like the Tupac thing. Anytime you die, they make a martyr. Then he came, then the stage was set for them to come in and take ancient scriptures of the sayings of Jesus, because, see, we would know that this wouldn't be fake, but see, the thing about it is the first 4 books that they talk about, that's the sayings of Jesus. The problem is we know it's a lie now, because in 1945, they dug up the original scriptures. In 1945. It's just that the damn governments around the world made sure that most people didn't know, and they didn't even translate the first books until 1977. They translated part of it. They translated a great deal of it in in the late 1950s, and the guy Hans Jonas' book came out, The Gnostic Religion. The other ones, as far as the complete scriptures, wasn't translated until 1977. So we have no way of knowing that this particular God is fake. You see what I'm saying? Now, let me go into some things here and try to understand some stuff. So Rome basically took all these ancient texts and historicalized them and made them history. They got it because they was copying a part of the Jews that went bad, taking Egyptian texts and making them historical. You see what I'm saying? Making them historical. A lot of that stuff in the Bible and even in the Torah did not happen. It was metaphysical, and a lot of it, if it was supposed to happen on the earth, it's supposed to happen now. You see what I'm saying? Y'all getting me here? This is very important stuff here, because you got to understand some stuff, because I'm explaining something to you. Let me explain something to you about Adalabra. Yeah, you can cut the light on. Let me explain something to you about Adalabra. Y'all all right? Because you got to get this. Because what he did was, let me get a glossary here. So now what they do now, they put out the books now, but they parallel it with them. They parallel them with Christian things and saying that they went hand in hand, and one was an extension of the other. That's a lie. That's a lie. Let me explain. Adalabra is the origins of the name is uncertain. One of the most common names of Gnostic mythology, Abdallah is a god who rules the material world. Who rules the material world. So, Abdallah not only was ruling the material world, but how he kept throwing us off. He said, well, listen, in order for me to get these particular gods to keep them going within, I have to create passions. So he created what you call beauty. And in beauty, all the creation of jewelry, all the creation of things, material things that keep you from going. You see, before then, we used to understand that we were gods, and we were just like any other thing on the earth. We could sustain ourselves and go to the highest level of spirituality because we understood that we were gods, or the knowledge of self. So what he did to throw us off, they created all kinds of material things. And so that's why you didn't see as much material things in the ancient world. They didn't need those things because they weren't on a high vibration. Now what he did was, after Adalabras' last thing was, is when he got the Romans and started killing people, Adalabras knew hell. He said, I got these white people who would control the earth now, because the black people used to control the earth, but they were spiritual beings. But the white people who can control the earth now, I can directly send my evil archons. So each one of these 7 planetary archons, they created other spirits, counterfeit spirits. And those are the ones that's inside of this particular beast. So as a result of them being in this particular beast, they can control the world. And basically, what does he do? The white man controls the world by making the material beautiful. He's 100% materialistic. So, as a result, for the last 1,000 years, well, we can't say 1,000 years because Greece and Rome was built by black people and it was all spiritual purposes. But let's say from down Europe on up, so we'll basically say that his height of his beauty, we could say the last 700-800 years. And this is the magnitude of it, America, which is the home of commercialism. The white man's goal is to create beautiful and create a system that would make the earth look like heaven to trap you in it. That's why now we can't think of one thing, getting more riches. You see what I'm saying? I don't cut this off right. Getting more riches. So I don't tell you to not make no money. I just tell you to make money to pay rent, pay lights, pay water, and keep some gas or whatever for transportation so you can get to the job, to pay rent, to pay light for water. But any other shit, you see what I'm saying? You see? So when I beg for money to pay my rent and stuff, you see what I'm saying, which I don't think I'm going to make it. But anyway, what I'm saying is, we talk about the bare necessities. So he created beauty and passions to control people. You understand what I'm saying? But he's arrogant. He's so arrogant and so now, when he created the white man, in actuality, the white man, you say, well, how does this God function? You just look at the white man and see how the white man functions, and you can understand how this God functions. He's a jealous God. He's a vengeful and a wrath and brimstone, a killer God. You understand what I'm saying? And everything that functions, that holds this society. So when the white man writes on his dollar bill, "In God we trust," he's talking about his God. He actually has a real God. Now, this is this. Now, we got to stop for a minute because I want you to think about what I'm saying here. This God came in and this God created. He took, all around the world, he took what is called the esoteric scriptures as saying that you are God and you belong to the host of heavens or the host of stars of heaven, and we are all one. And which scriptures, and he took the same scripture. Now what he would do is he would take the same scriptures and he would take the same scriptures and he would take the esoteric scriptures and make them exoteric where you worship him. In the Gnostic scriptures, the real scriptures, they say that this God made a covenant with Abraham, this God Yahweh. And he made a covenant with Abraham and promised this little group or whatever that he would save them and everybody else would go to hell or whatever type thing.